Hi everybody and welcome to the third episode of Buttons, Clicks and Sticks. I am Jacob and with me is Jeroen. How are you today, Mr. Jeroen?
Hello, Jacob. I'm doing excellent today. And I would like to compliment you on, your second week in a row of pronouncing the name of our podcast right.
Yeah, it's quite an achievement. It was a bit rough the first week, but now I feel like I might actually remember it.
That's good.
We just need to become, famous enough so we can use the shorthand BCS because I won't ever forget that or mispronounce it.
It would be very embarrassing if you did mispronounce it then.
Yes, but also it might be expected. So,
True.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's a new year. It's 2015. It's almost been a month since we last recorded an episode because we did that very shortly after our first episode because you were going away.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We recorded that around 2
right.
days before Christmas,
Yes. Yeah, we were doing it, you were not at all enjoying sunny California, and
No.
I was not. What was I doing on Monday before Christmas? I can't really remember. I was probably eating something. Oh, right, we picked up a lot of gifts that day, I think.
I don't really think that eating is a task that takes all day.
That depends. I mean, isn't Christmas all about just eating?
Yeah, and drinking.
And drinking, that's true. It's the only day I take a cab home from wherever I am. Other days I'm like, hey, maybe I'll just not drink and drive my car instead. Because that's a luxury.
But why would you take a cab? What would you go do that would require you not being at home?
Because I go home to my parents for Christmas.
Can't you stay over there then?
No, I want to go home.
Oh, okay.
I like waking up in my own bed, in my own house. And I also took, apparently, because I had left my car, because I drive there and then I take the cab home and then I go back on Christmas Day. Because, in Sweden we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, the 24th. And Christmas Day is all about relaxing. So what I did on Christmas Day was just walk home to my parents. And it's about almost 1.5 Scandinavian miles. So it's about 15 kilometers.
1.5 Scandinavian... Is that a thing? A Scandinavian mile?
I don't know if that's the term. I mean, it's not mile. I don't know if you say, metric mile. I don't know. How long are your miles?
I honestly do not know.
Because ours are 10 kilometers. And I've seen it used when I was studying English in the university. I've seen our word mil, which is, mile, been translated as Scandinavian mile.
Yeah.
So
there is a metric mile, which is 1,500 meters.
That's wrong then, wrong in my sense, because here's a mile here is 10 kilometers.
Okay.
So, but it's about 15 kilometers. That's a more, agreed upon term. And I got I maybe had a few hundred meters left when I get a text from my mother and she says oh, you shouldn't go out today. It's far too cold out. You'll get sick. We'll come pick you up and drive you home and, you don't have to be out. And I was like, is it cold out? I'm really warm. It was probably minus 12 or 13 or something.
That's insane.
I hadn't really... Well, I've had worse. I've been out in minus 23 or something, actually working. It was at a time where I was a paper boy.
But you're not in the cold for that long then, though. You're not taking a walk to your parents' house.
No, but I was... it was almost worse, because that night I had an outdoor district where I had to walk most of the time. So it was a lot of, getting out of the car and driving short distances. The car never got to be warm. My water bottle froze in 20 minutes. So I didn't have any water, I didn't have any warmth. And when I come to one of the houses, I meet a parked cab.
Yeah.
And he's sleeping inside of it. And I can just see how toasty and warm it is inside that taxi. And he's just sleeping. And I have to walk around and deliver newspapers.
Wait, is it the cab driver that's sleeping in his own
Yeah,
taxi?
yeah, he was just sleeping there, and with the engine running, of course, because
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask because if his engine wasn't running, he was probably gonna freeze to death.
yeah, no, the engine was running, as taxi drivers are known to do.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about my walks or my former profession. We're here to talk about video games.
Is that what
Mostly.
we're here for?
Yes, it is a common interest of ours, and we do like to discuss it. And we discuss it here, we record it, so that other people can listen to us discussing video games. It's all very meta.
So that's where the name comes from. I finally get it now.
Yeah, the buttons are... I see they're both keys and buttons. Like the buttons on a controller, and also, it's a keyboard, but let's call them buttons as well.
Button.
Yeah, mouse buttons.
Mouse buttons. But you have clicks already.
All right, clicks already. Well, oh yeah, clicks incorporate both mouse and keyboard, I'd say, and sticks. Joysticks and the directional sticks on a controller.
Yes.
We will need to upgrade when like the Oculus Rift and stuff. When that gets popular, so we'd be like buttons, sticks, and clicks, and
Virtual reality.
And virtual reality.
Yeah, I think not.
Maybe not. But you've been away. You've been to America. Have you had any time to play any video games?
I have since I've come back, but I didn't play any video games there. My only sort of experience with video games in America was watching my sister play a Plants vs. Zombies game on her iPhone.
The first one, or...?
No, it's definitely the later one, because I finished the first Plants vs. Zombie game back when it was first released, because I'm a hipster like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, it looked very unfamiliar.
Yeah, it's probably because I think the second one, you need to like earn stars to lock up, like unlock new levels and stuff. I think it wasn't as well regarded as the first one.
But the first one, obviously, I mean, you can't really top the first one because it was pretty good.
I've never paid for the first one.
You got it for free?
Yeah, every time I've downloaded Plants vs. Zombies, it's been free.
I got it as well for free. I'm not sure if it's the second one. All I know is that when she was playing it, there was a ship on the screen. Yeah, that's definitely Plants vs. Zombies 2 then.
Okay, yeah.
I am Googling it, so I see images that...
the infamous fact-checking.
The infamous fact-checking. Yes, I see the images of like Plants vs. Zombies 2 that are congruent with what I saw on my sister's iPhone screen.
Yeah, so you did the, very popular thing today. You watch other people play video games rather than play them yourself.
Yeah. Not much, though. It was mostly on the planes.
Yeah. What have you been playing since you got home? Or do you have any amazing America stories to tell us?
Amazing America stories? No, I don't really think I did that many amazing things. I saw a lot, and like it's beautiful there. I was in Southern California, in Los Angeles and San Diego.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful there. We had amazing weather. And we did like all the touristy things, right? We went to Beverly Hills and we went to the beaches.
Yeah. Yeah, so, because you're usually a big opponent of Facebook and posting things, but there would be almost pictures daily up there.
Yeah.
From you. And I was like, he must really be enjoying himself to actually go to Facebook for these things.
It was mostly just to sort of brag and...
Show family?
Show my brag. And like, just have the pictures recorded, because I'm bound to clean up my phone sometimes, and
Yeah, that's true.
Cool.
Facebook will never die.
I'm sure it will, but
maybe.
At least the pictures are there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did all the touristy things. So I've seen both the insane wealth of America and the insane amount of homeless people there.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But you didn't go to San Francisco. No.
We were planning on going there at first, but then we realized that San Francisco is like so far away from Los Angeles that if we wanted to go there, we probably should have taken a flight there.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably want like or your own car, but then it's like it doesn't seem like a day trip.
No, it's not. Definitely not. No.
I would next time I'll tag along, but I'll fly to Seattle. That's where I want to go, and I want to go there during the international. And I want to bring so much money, more than the 3,000 euros I need to spend on flights.
It's not that expensive to fly there.
It is. Well, maybe not from Schiphol, but
Schiphol.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Schiphol, yeah.
I've always got like shithole. And I've felt bad about it. I have a story about it. When I say I want to go to Seattle with a lot of money so I can go to the Dota 2 secret shop and spend obscene amounts of money on Dota collectibles and items.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it was after our guild meeting in Antwerp in Belgium, and I flew from how do you say Schiphol? Schiphol.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And they were just really nasty, the ones down on the bottom level. So I was like, oh, I can't go here. I'm gonna get sick. So I ran upstairs and I found this like VIP lounge. I was like, this looks more like my thing. And I snuck in, and they had the most luxurious bathrooms with, large mahogany doors, and it smelled clean, and there was no one there, and the seats were warm. So, yeah, that's one of my experiences, is sneaking into the fancy bathrooms in a Dutch airport.
One of the VIP lounges for people that have a lot of air miles, probably.
Probably. I mean, it wasn't really guarded or anything. I was just walking there like, this looks a lot better than the downstairs bathroom. I'm gonna go in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so what have you managed? You've been home for like a week. What have you managed to play during your home time?
I have, of course, played a bit of Crusader Kings 2, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Who hasn't? I've also played a little bit of WoW. Mostly just did my garrison stuff.
Yeah, I've kind of flown off that as well. I don't even do the garrison stuff nowadays.
I didn't finish the garrison stuff. I did some of the garrison stuff, and then it's like, okay, done this before. I've also played a bit of the Stonehearth Alpha. Alpha? How do you pronounce Alpha?
That depends, I guess, on who you are. I think if you want the most correct, you'd need to ask a Greek person. But then again, the Greek you speak today is probably a lot different than the one spoken when it was conceived as.
Well, they don't actually. I know a little bit about this because I had Greek in school. They don't know exactly how ancient Greek was spoken, like how it was pronounced. They guess at it being sung a little bit, like certain languages are sung more than, let's say, like Dutch or German.
Yeah, definitely.
They're not sung at all. It was slightly sung, but they're not entirely sure. But modern Greek actually does look like ancient Greek a lot. The letters are practically the same. The words are basically the same. There's more words, obviously.
Yeah, well, the same as you can say about Sweden. Well, we haven't changed our orthography or anything, but we don't know either, like how things were pronounced. But we take that from. I think there was some text where you had like, this is how things were spelled in official ways, and this is something written by a person who doesn't know how to spell. And then you'd usually get, the more you spell words the way you think they sound, so you can get some sort of inkling of like, maybe this is how they said things, but you still, there's no possible way in knowing how things were pronounced because there's no vocal recordings.
Unless there's like not much change happening,
Well, you still don't know.
You still don't. You can't know for sure. No. That's true.
But probably like alpha. I'd say alpha. Alpha
sounds so American.
Alpha, man.
No, that can't be right. It has to be like alpha.
Alpha.
So I was playing the alpha.
Yes.
Right, of Stonehearth, because there had been a few updates that I had not yet checked out. And I should maybe explain what Stonehearth is first.
Yeah, for the viewers who don't, or the viewers or the listeners who don't know what a Hearth of Stone is.
I've talked about it a little bit, I think, when I was talking about games that I'm really looking forward to.
Could be.
It's basically a Minecraft-ish game, but rather than you being a singular person gathering blocks and building things, you are a group of people. It's like an RTS mixed with Minecraft a little bit.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So there have been a few updates, and I was checking them out, and I'm really pleased that I've kickstarted this game.
Well, I'm glad you're happy with your investment. I know I like to give you a lot of shit because it's Hearthstone backwards.
It's not
in the name. Yeah, no, the games are wildly different. I just like poking fun at the similarity between the names. Yeah. Because words.
So yeah, I played that a little bit. And what else did I play? I tried playing The Sims, Sims 4, but I didn't. Because there had been an update as well for Sims 4, right? That I talked about a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff and Star Wars things and.
Yeah, no, like there's another one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Also more free stuff. But yeah, I didn't really check it out. I should have maybe, but I didn't really. And other than that, I played some Victoria 2.
Even more in the grand strategy genre.
I also played EU4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that because you started playing EU4. I was still awake because I can talk about that later. How my sleeping schedule has been amazing the last 6 days.
Mine's pretty good actually, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, Victoria 2. I didn't play it much. I played as Ethiopia.
Right. Yes.
Which people should know is not a very wealthy country, and it's very hard to make it a wealthy country. So that didn't go over so well. I won a few wars against Egypt, and that's approximately where my adventure ended.
Now hang on, I thought you said you did really well as Ethiopia, and was like
in
you helped.
I did really well.
But in Victoria 2,
yeah,
not so much. Okay.
In EU4, I conquered all of Egypt as Ethiopia. I conquered all of Persia as Ethiopia. I conquered the Arabian Peninsula as Ethiopia.
And wasn't like, did you conquer half of Turkey as well? Because you've got Constantinople, if I don't.
I've got Constantinople, yeah.
Yeah.
And parts of Turkey, but the rest of Turkey is owned by Greece.
Yes.
Interesting enough.
For all you at home, Constantinople is the old name for Istanbul. It's the. I'm going to call it.
Constantinople is actually the new name for Byzantion.
All right.
If we're really going to be nitpicky about it.
Wasn't it also that the Byzantine Empire, they never called themselves that? That's something we've begun to call them, afterwards. Yeah. They called themselves the Roman Empire until they fell.
Basilissa Romaion. If I pronounce that right, I'm not sure if it's like that.
Basilissa Romanoni.
Romaion.
That's the Swedish pronunciation of everything.
Ha
Berkty. Oh, I'm so offended. I'm going to sue all the Muppets. I would never be so ruthless with pancakes. I think it's an affront to the Swedish people, and I am ever so angry.
Pancakes?
Haven't you seen that clip with the Swedish chef where he's like making pancakes and they all get stuck in the roof, and then he gets the blunderblås in there skjortan in the and he shoots the roof with a blunderbuss.
I have never seen a Swedish chef skit other than there was one time there was this commercial for a Dutch supermarket chain whose name I won't mention, which had like a promotional action with the Muppets, and they made a commercial with the Muppets, and Swedish Chef appeared in that, and that's like all I've really seen of Swedish Chef. That's your
expertise. Oh yeah, I've seen like 2 skits maybe. I'm not sure I find it super funny, but I'm like, that's pretty silly.
It's meant for children.
Or for adults in a much simpler time.
A much simpler time. Kermit is more meant for adults, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they even made that, a musical with Kermit and Miss or Mrs. Piggy.
Are they married?
I can't remember.
I think it's Miss Piggy.
They Miss Piggy, okay.
Should I fact check?
No. If you know, you can go to bcscast.tumblr.com and send us a message about what the
it's
correct answer is. Yeah.
what the marital status of Piggy, whatever her last name is.
Yeah, okay, I just kind of need to know. It's like, jeez. It's not like I'm going to ask her out or anything. Pork. Okay, so you've your Ethiopia adventures went well in one game and not so well in the other.
Exactly.
Is there anything else that you've played?
I don't think so, really.
Then I will tell you.
Yeah.
About a great game of 2014, and that's Far Cry 4. Yeah, I finished that before Christmas even, I think. I think I finished it then. Yeah, I did. I mean, it's Far Cry 3, but I think they've made it even better. I can't remember if I said this before, but I think this is the last Far Cry that they can make in this way. Because if they make a Far Cry 5 and it's all this again, it's not gonna fly very well. This is the chance they have to make something new if they are to continue making Far Cry games for now.
Who is the publisher of Far Cry?
It is Ubisoft. So
there will be a Far Cry 5.
Yes, and my worry is that it will contain, we're gonna climb towers and have this stuff and thingies.
Yeah.
But or if they want to, because you get this idea for free, Ubisoft.
We know you're listening.
Yeah, make a game about Lapland.
About Lapland.
Yeah, because they hunt for the tribal stuff and thingies. What about having a game in Sweden, Norway, Finland? That's Lapland.
Wouldn't it be? I mean, no offense to people there, but wouldn't the environment be unstimulating? Like pretty flat and not flat. I say you have mountains there, but
I think you can make it really cozy. I think you can make a Lapland game very nice.
I don't know. I never liked the snowy parts of Skyrim. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Is usually weather.
I just don't like. I don't mind snow, like seeing the snowfall. I just don't. I prefer the sort of the forested pines, the forests of pines, those sort of areas.
You can have that in Lapland as well. I think. Yeah. Do you think it's just snow up there constantly? No.
Aren't they like? There's this. Wait, I'm gonna look up what the name. Okay, we're not allowed to fact check, but I'm pretty sure there's a line across the world, above which no trees grow. Also on a mountain, like you have the tree boundary. Is that what it's called? I'm not allowed to fact check. So I'm not gonna check, but like tree boundary or whatever. I think there's one for the world as well. So you'd have to.
You have to make sure it's on that line. In any case, I really liked Far Cry 4. I liked hunting the outposts and stuff like that. There are a few things that annoy me about it, but I think every Far Cry has done that with me, and that's, I'm hiding up in the hills. I have my sniper rifle, it's suppressed, and I take aim and shoot a guy. And maybe he has a friend next to him, and this guy immediately turns to where I am and looks at me and is like, oh shit, there's someone there. How did he know I had a suppressed sniper rifle? I mean, that's the stealth part of that game can really annoy me sometimes, because the stealth isn't the strongest part. That's why you have, usually, in most cases, you have stealth that kind of, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, you got spotted, who cares? Take up your machine gun and just kill people.
Yeah.
But there are a few where there's actually a failure state if you get spotted, and that was the part of the game that I enjoyed the least.
I'm going to have a slight nitpick to pick with this. If you suppress a gun, it's never silent. All guns with a suppressor in real life are very audible.
Yes, but
audible enough to cause hearing damage. So you can't say that having a suppressed gunfire is, not going to point not going to point them to you. But if you sniper, you should probably be far enough away that they can't see you.
Yeah, and also the thing is, I mean, then the logic is wrong, because if they're standing on opposite sides of a building and I shoot them, they won't turn to look at me. So just if they stand next to each other.
Yeah.
So then it's not consistent at all.
No, okay.
So that's my big. But that game is just really funny. I liked hunting rhinos, and the first time I tried to hunt rhinos, I was like, I'm gonna kill them with bow, because if you kill them with bow, you get double the skins, so you can make more stuff. You don't have to hunt as many animals.
Yeah.
But rhinos are really hard to kill with bow and arrow. So what I started hunting rhinos with were hand grenades. So I'd drive out in my car, I'd jump out, and I just toss grenade after grenade at these rhinos until they die, and then I take their skins and I made it into a wallet.
Shouldn't one grenade be enough?
Nope, not with these rhinos. They took like 3.
Very impressive.
Yeah, they make note of that, because the rhino is a bit endangered in our world. So the main character even knows, like, hey, are you sure it's okay to kill rhinos? I mean, aren't they endangered? And they have a lore reason where it's like, no, we've been breeding rhinos because Pagan Min really likes rhinos. So don't be afraid, listener. We're not hunting endangered animals. We're simply making them endangered.
That's so much more reassuring. That's so much better.
Yeah. And also, one thing about Far Cry that I know I'm saying a lot of negative stuff now, but that game is really great. And if you like first-person shooters, and if you've liked Far Cry, then you should definitely play it. But this is also something that most games have a problem with. But you start out as AJ, this innocent guy, and he's like, I'm just here to, bury my mum's ashes. And then the first thing you do is pick up an AK and shoot some people. And you skydive after airplanes and throw in hand grenades, and you do all these crazy things that someone who's like been in America living a normal life up until now probably shouldn't be able to do, or at least not do with as little prejudice as
as much skill.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to care that much. It's like, no, I just emptied this outpost on my own. This is the first thing I do after escaping captivity. But yeah, this game's really fun. I didn't try much of the multiplayer. I really liked the end to that game. I picked one choice and then I immediately went to YouTube to check the other choices. And they've done something insane in that game. I know the game's been out for a couple of months, but I won't spoil it. We might discuss it at a later time. Or I could just say like this. You can finish that game. Listen, if you've not finished it and you plan on playing it, don't listen to this. But you can finish that game in like 20 minutes.
There's a way of doing it really fast. It's like a different...
Yeah. Are you planning to play through the game?
No.
Then everyone who listens now and plans to finish Far Cry 4, just skip ahead like 3-4 minutes, because I'm just going to say this, spoilery thing.
Okay, wait. Can I guess first, though?
Yeah, guess. Guess on.
Can you... Because I kind of know the introduction. Like, you go into this Kirati region, then your minivan thing gets pulled over, and Begamin is there, and he brings you to his luxurious little house. And you have food with him, and then he gets, like, called away to do something.
Yes.
Can you, like, find him within that house and kill him?
No.
Is that how you end the game?
No. What you do is you don't stand up.
You can just stay and sit there.
You sit and wait, and he comes back. He's like, "Oh, sorry about that." And he comes walking back, and he's like, "Oh, did you want to find Lakshmana? Because that's what you're looking for." And he takes you out, walks you back, and he's like, "Oh, this shrine, Lakshmana. That's your younger sister who died." And he's like, "Oh, and you get to put down the ashes." And then he's like, "Hey, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave the kingdom to you. Do you want to go and play with some rocket launchers?" And then you jump into a helicopter, and the game finishes.
That's insane.
I was like, you've made this game that's 30 hours long, and in the first scene you can end the game. And I got the bad ending, because you have a choice then, if you don't do this, you have a choice like sparing him or shooting him. I was like, this guy's probably a liar, so I just shot him. Never found Lakshmana, never found out that, a sister was killed or anything. I just, went home. So I'm really glad that I looked at YouTube. So yeah, I really respect making such a crazy move, because even when you get that ending, it's not like you already know how the story's gonna finish. You get the biggest explanation.
Right. Can't you? after you finish the game, can't you just like sort of sandbox through the game afterwards?
You can. So I'm not sure what happens in that special one. But yeah, I don't know how many minutes been gone, but I guess you don't want people skipping into our
discussion of
spoilery things.
Spoilery things. Okay, that's very interesting. I like that.
I really like the one part about the last mission, because you're kind of storming at this fortress and it's just playing like 70s rock music, or rockabilly more like.
Yeah.
It felt intense and I liked it. So yeah, Far Cry 4, finished that, enjoyed it. Played a lot of Crusader Kings. I've been doing my very early Sweden game, where I turned the tribe of Sweden into a kingdom, a feudal Catholic kingdom, and I am very close to creating an empire now. I control the Baltic Sea, control all the Scandinavian and Nordic countries.
Kingdoms, yes.
Yeah, except for Iceland, but that's not a kingdom in that age. It's part of Norway.
It's part of Norway.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Dragon Age Inquisition. I started it up. Yeah, I started it up. I'm really liked the hour or so I played of it because it crashed on me, and since then I haven't really started it again. It's probably been a week or so, because I'm like, I really want a lot of time when I'm gonna go and sit and play that.
Yeah.
But I've just been distracted by other things. But that game, I just went around and read books, and there was this book about, how the Chantry came to be, and what the ranks in the Chantry are, and inheritance, and the schism and stuff like that. I love this. It's like the reason I play Crusader Kings, because I like titles and inheritance rules, because I'm weird in that way. I was reading books, and then I went in to get the cutscene, and then the game crashed, and I was like, okay, we'll try later. Let's go play Dota.
Okay. So you also played Dota, obviously.
Yes, I played some Dota. It's gone so-so. Played a really good Juggernaut match. They've made him very strong recently. They buffed his agility by 6, which means that he gets 6 more damage because he's an agility hero, and he also gets 6 more attack speed in the early game, and some more armor. So yeah, he's powerful. I'm just waiting for the pros to play him more and more so that he gets nerfed into oblivion. Or maybe he doesn't. You never know. Have I played anything? I played a little bit of Castle Crashers. That game is broken on the PC. It lags uncontrollably when you play it online. Or it gets like big FPS drops.
Castle Crashers is that game that looks like it's made by Newgrounds, right?
It is made by Newgrounds.
My point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I loved it on the 360, but it just doesn't work well when you're playing it online on the PC. Sadly.
Yeah. Sadly, yeah.
Played some Bit Trip Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien, I think is the full title. And that made me punch a new hole in my desk.
Yeah, that's a game that will get you riled up.
Mm-hmm. Don't you know it? It's I haven't played it in days because I'm like, nope, I should probably not. I don't want to anymore.
I don't want to be angry like that.
No. I've almost managed to not be angry at Dota, so this is an achievement for me.
This is an achievement.
And then I've played some WoW. I've been really bad with the Garrison stuff, but I've really gotten back into doing some of that filthy role-playing.
I've been to Goldshire.
Yeah. Ariam's been undressing. No, I've actually...
Slash dancing.
Oh, yes.
Especially with the new models, that's really sexy.
Yeah, with all the facial expressions, it's like, oh yeah, give it to me.com.
Exactly. And the new, slightly scantily dressed bottoms.
Oh, right, they're a bit more
bottoms.
thongy.
Have the female blood elves been introduced yet? Or the male?
No, they will come in the next patch, I believe. And I don't know when that is. I don't think so, at least. No, there's been no true patch. I think that's gonna come. It will be a bigger hub about it. They know how they're gonna look, more or less, but...
We do.
And they have the ultimate thong.
Females.
Yes.
I mean, there's only female blood elves.
Basically.
But there is, two kinds of female blood elves.
Different width.
Yeah. They don't have gender bimorphia, so that's a term, right? Bimorphia?
No clue.
I think it's called gender bimorphia. I'm going to fact check against the rules.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say then that since New Year's Eve, I'm not gone to bed before 6 a.m. I sat up until either 8 or 9 a.m. last night playing with Anhagath, who also is, leaving the guild, at least in character. So if Kumanan wants to come and talk to him, he would really appreciate that.
Why is he leaving? Oh, wait, we should not discuss it here. We should discuss this.
Because Anhagath
Between us.
doesn't like the shadow of certain characters.
I see.
If you want to know more, start playing a real game.
Don't subscribe to World of Warcraft. Subscribe to a different MMO.
I said
Preferably a more modern one. Right.
What?
Right. I was gonna say something. Oh, right. I looked it up. What it was? It's sexual dimorphism. That's the term.
What does that even mean? Does that mean you not look like your sex?
That means that males and females look completely different from one another.
Which is what
case, that would be, boobs for females and. Well, we're not as sexually dimorphistic, whatever, as peacocks, for example.
Maybe not, but we're pretty different.
Yeah.
There are things growing on places on my body that does not grow on the female body, and likewise.
I'm pretty sure that that's not counted. Like,
penises.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that sexual organs don't count. It's about all the rest being different between the two sexes.
Okay, well, yeah, then we're pretty similar. I can get boobs by eating more and more.
You can't get the same kind, though.
Nope. But they're the same to me. So yeah, that's what I've been playing lately.
It's a very sad note you left that on.
Yeah. Hopefully next time I'll have more to say about Dragon Age, or maybe I'll just talk for an hour about Dota.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna try and start my own Dota league. I find competition very interesting. I really like having the competitive background, competitive backdrop to a video game, because that makes me want to practice more and get better. It's like, we lost in this tournament, shit, now we've got to go out and train as a team and come back better and win next time. I know you're not a huge fan of competition.
I don't like competition between friends, because right. I'm not a sore loser. I don't know. I just don't like it.
I love it when it's...
don't like the tension that comes with it.
Okay. Yeah, me and my brother usually play against, we get to be on different teams when we do in-house matches, because you place us together. That's just not going to end well for anybody. Except if you have people off time played on the other team, which has happened sometimes. But yeah, it's this Dota League would be like either you come there with a prepared team, or you have a few and you can get some recruits, and it's just gonna be for fun, one match a week, things like that. It's still in the planning phase. I think I'm gonna try and make a website this week using the engine. I think the ENJIN, I think it's called.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's about it.
There's one more thing that I played, but I didn't play it for very long. But I did play it. That was Total War Rome 2. There was a free content patch released some time ago. I don't know exactly when. It might have been before Christmas.
Might have been after.
Sure. Might have been after. Might have been 2 months ago. I don't know. But I played a little bit of it. It's essentially about this sort of historic period in which the Persians were beat back by a alliance of the Greek states, and that alliance has been crumbling, and they're on the verge of war. Right. That's basically the scenario, the setting, and that's what you
So you pick Rome and roll them over. It's like ha 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 ha.
There's no Rome actually in that.
Aww.
Which is interesting actually, because it is Total War Rome 2.
Yeah.
But in that scenario, in that campaign, there is no Rome.
Yeah, that's a bit interesting. Like, nope, don't do that. I was close to buying that game during the winter sale.
Yeah.
But I was like, I probably won't have time to play that right now, because I have Dragon Age Inquisition, which I've heard is not a very short game. When that's done, I have a ton of other games to play. So I'll buy it some other time. But I was curious about it. I've heard it's gotten a lot better since release.
And it had to get a lot better since release, because it was really bad when it was released.
That is very true. Yeah, so we could move into that. You came home on New Year's Eve. Did you manage to buy anything on the Steam sale? No. You've completely abstained this year.
I have been saved by my holiday from the wrath of Gabe Newell.
That's, fortunate for you. I'm actually, just for interest, gonna see what I bought. I've already talked about two things. That was Castle Crashers and Bit Trip Runner, because they were both like
a few cents.
A few cents, yeah. Oh well, a few euros, but
yeah.
A lot of people are buying Racketeer, I can see. Racketeer and Item Shop's Tale. That game is actually very interesting.
Racketeer
and Item Shops. Yeah, you play as a shopkeep and you sell items to heroes. Oh yes, I bought
another game. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some people on my friends list buying it. I really like that game. I think it's cute. I bought Don't Starve. Me and my brother bought it because when they've added a co-op mode, but now you have to pay for it. But if you have the main game when they release the co-op, you get it for free. So we play Don't Starve co-op in the future.
Don't Starve Together.
Don't Starve Together. I also bought a game from my favorite franchise of all time. I bought Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
That is a game that you already owned on a console.
No.
Okay.
I wanted to, because it only came out on next gen once. This is like a prequel to the Metal Gear Solid 5 that will be released later this year, I think. And
on PC.
They've decided Metal Gear Solid 5 is not out on consoles. What made me so happy is that they've decided to release it on PC, because then I have an Xbox One, but I like playing stuff on my PC.
Yeah. So wait. So they at first said it was going to be a console exclusive, but they've changed that.
I don't know if they said that it would be an exclusive. They said it would come to PS4 and Xbox One. I think Ground Zeroes may have come out on 360 and PS3 as well, but why would I want to play that game on old consoles? Why would I want to play something that doesn't look as good as it could?
I don't know.
No one. I was close to buying the Game of Thrones Telltale games. I've heard some people say this isn't great. I've heard some people say it's amazing. I'll just have to do the most logical thing and buy it and play it for myself. I also yelled at Dan and I yelled at my brother and I told them buy The Witcher 2. It's about €3 right now and it's an amazing game. And so they did. Because it's good to listen to me, because I know what games are good.
It's €20 right now. It's not that bad, actually.
No, but yeah, it was down like 70 or 80% or something, so...
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see, I'm just going to roll down. I don't think I bought too much else. No, that's Bit Trip. There's Castle Crashers, and I bought Super Meat Boy, and that also, made my body hurt from frustration.
I haven't played that in ages.
It's the controls are tight, but God,
it's a good game.
It's not my kind of game.
I really liked it.
I mean, it isn't bad. It's just not my game. It's not my kind of game, I think.
Yeah.
Now we're coming down to far down this list. I don't think I bought anything else. There's a lot of games. I bought Way of Life, but that was before the sale even started.
Which is a Crusader Kings 2 expansion.
Yeah. A really good one.
A really good one.
You get more
there is
roleplay things.
There's actually... I can talk about this because I've been keeping my eye on it. There's a lot of I wouldn't say outcry because that's a bit, intense, but there has been some complaints about Way of Life, especially about the intrigue and the seduction focus,
Oh, really?
because the AI are more likely to pick those two
Yeah, I've noticed that.
over any others, which is like the one part. And the other part is that they are a little bit overpowered because,
Really?
yeah, compared to, let's say, like War Focus. Like War Focus has like events that'll give you strong, which is pretty powerful, and you can duel other characters, but you can only duel characters which are your enemies, or if you're a Muslim, or excommunicated characters, or if you're a Muslim and zealous against decadent characters.
Yeah.
So there's a limited pool of people you can duel, right?
Yeah.
So the new interesting interaction doesn't come up that often. Whereas with seduction, you can essentially seduce anyone, anywhere, so as long as they have a similar religion to you.
Ah. So that's pretty useful then.
Yeah.
I've noticed people with that trait having like 15 kids, and I think that's funny to me.
So they should limit that maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, at one point you would be known as, a Casanova, and women or men would probably stay away from you a bit more.
Unless they've had really good things. Like people hear about me, they're like, you read about Jacob? He has so many Dota hats. I've spent like 20 euros on Dota hats this Christmas, I think.
That's good.
I don't know. Actually,
I thought that you had switched off your telephone.
No, I just silenced it. Someone is calling me. I don't know what that number is. We'll check it out. Maybe someone's like, hey, I want to give you a job. And I'm like, no. I'm recording a podcast. Yeah, I actually had a cool succession with someone having the war trait and dueled my character because they were rivals. And he kills my character in the duel and becomes king. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is actually pretty cool, yeah.
So, yeah. I think that does it for that part. Unless you've played anything else.
No.
Then we have some news.
Do we? Is there actually news?
There's one piece of news that I thought was interesting and or stupid. And that's that Telltale Games partners with Mojang to produce Minecraft Story Mode.
That is... I've heard about that, actually. That is, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, if it was one thing that Minecraft really needed, it was a story mode. Because I play that game for the narrative, not...
Well, I mean, you can say this. You can, like...
Yeah, but that was my own narrative. I don't need them telling me a story about Minecraft.
No, true, but don't knock it until you tried it. Maybe they've got a very interesting, cool idea for this narrative. Because obviously there is not really a narrative in Minecraft.
Except for the one you might make yourself.
Yeah, it's a sandbox. That's the premise of the game.
Yeah.
Essentially. But, maybe they want to, just for fun, make a narrative, a bit of lore, so you will,
What?
for the game.
Why is the world in blocks? I hope that's the main crux. Like, what happened? Why is everything square? What did you do? And you have to find something that makes it into circles, and boom, there's Mojang's next game.
And there's Mojang's next game, Circles.
Mine circles.
Mine circle.
Circlecraft.
Circlecraft.
Circle jerk. That's the main villain. He's the circle jerk.
He's the circle jerk.
Yep.
And he took away every round corner from the world. That's why he's called the circle jerk.
Yeah, because he's a jerk and he has circles.
And he jerked away all the circles. So
yeah.
Oh, they should just hire us for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have two great stories. We have Far Cry 5 Lapland, and we have Minecraft Circle Jerk.
Minecraft Circle Jerk.
It's just glorious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically everything there is in news this week.
Yeah, there is not going to be much news because they tried to get their games out before the festive season in summer.
Yeah, and people's been on holidays. There's not been a lot of drama. There's a few, but it's mostly like, Twitter news of like, haha, look at this funny picture we found. That I don't think that makes for very interesting news.
No.
That's Reddit clickbait, not something for this sophisticated podcast.
Very sophisticated.
Very sophisticated.
You should edit in like a burp sound right about now.
Yeah, or I could just make a real one and everyone would be like, "Oh, so legitimate."
So professional.
Yeah. So what we're going to move on to, this might actually be a short episode, or shorter. But now we're going to go into questions, because we've actually received a question.
Did we now?
Yes. If you want to go and ask us a question, go to bcscast.tumblr.com/ I think ask.
I think ask. We can type it in. We should probably fact check this.
Yeah, I've checked. It's bcscast.tumblr.com/ ask. If you want to ask us any questions, you can even be anonymous. You don't even have to give us your names. You can say very rude things, and we'll read them on the air. Anonymous has asked this time around, "Hi, are you single?" How about it, Jeroen? Are you single?
Yeah. Short answer, yeah.
Am I single?
Are you single, Jacob?
Yes, I am. If you want someone who cooks very well, likes to clean, is rather kind, and knows a lot about video games, call.
Do not call Jacob.
You wound me.
Well, no, I was just jealous of anyone that's, gets your attention.
Ah, how very sweet.
I want your undivided attention, Jacob.
Well, you have it. And you have it for several hours each week when we do this silly thing. We should think about having guests sometime. We can bring on guest experts.
Guest experts about, like, video games.
Yeah, we can bring in Dan on experts on how to roleplay a bitch.
Yeah.
See, now I'll tell him now that, like, listen to this episode because...
You're mentioned in it.
Yeah, and it's at the very end, so I'll have to listen through it all to get to the rather dubious mention.
No. You should not tell him where or when.
No. Of course not. He'll have to, just so that he'll have to listen through it all. Of course.
Don't say it's at the end, because then he'll just skip ahead.
Yeah. No. I would never do something so silly when I can, torture the ones I care for.
Wow. I just saw like a thing on my phone, which is really, how should I say, something I should not share with other people.
Okay.
But I'm really tempted to do it anyway.
Well,
shall I?
This is not safe for. This is a podcast that will contain rough language and mature subjects. I think if this gives entertainment to the folks at home.
I think we've warned them enough now, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're super offended, I guess don't listen to what Jeroen has to say.
Right, so this girl,
mm-hmm.
of whom I do not know the name, sent a tweet which reads, "I would never have sex with a Muslim." Right?
Uh-huh.
And then this Muslim girl, I think, or Muslim guy, I can't really see, retweeted and replied, "Pork is haram for us anyway."
Damn.
It's a sick burn.
That is a sick burn. Also, that's just damn it, people.
What?
Is that really what you're going to use Twitter for? And being so completely stupid? I guess what am I saying? Of course, people are going to be stupid on the internet.
I don't agree with the existence of Twitter, as you know. I am vehemently opposed to...
You're a hipster.
I'm not a hipster. I've always disliked Twitter.
So I think hipsters have as well.
I've never seen, like, any reason for me to get on there. Because if I want to see a tweet, like, if I want to see funny tweets, then they'll come to me,
Yeah.
I just don't want to bother with the medium. But I remember saying, or talking about, our listeners being able to contact us on various social medias.
Yeah. Did you make a Twitter?
No.
Okay. Well, you can always go to me. It's twitter.com/Birchman. That's Birchman with 2 N's. I don't say very much. The last few tweets I've had have been me getting into fights with people of opposite political opinions.
Exactly. You're also misusing Twitter for the very same thing.
I like to make people very angry because they're stupid. Last time, because I was on the day before Christmas Eve, we were watching this like stay up all night thingy, and until it's Christmas with us, and we're gonna do silly things. And there was a band with just a lot of old dudes.
Yeah.
And people were already like, "Oh, this is so sexist," but there were a lot of girls there and women being artists and singing, and I said that, and people got upset with me. Because I stated that I think, things might be different. So that's how I started Christmas, was getting into fights with some people on the internet, and then laughed and went home.
Sounds like a good way to spend your Christmas.
Yeah.
I actually just discovered something.
What did you discover?
Something I did not know. You can obviously upload your screenshots from video games onto Steam, right?
Correct.
But there's also apparently a most popular of the week screenshot section for each game that you own.
Oh.
That you can browse through. So I never knew this existed. So I'm currently browsing through some popular screenshots of the week.
That sounds like something that can probably eat up a lot of time.
Yeah, they're not very interesting thus far.
I thought you could find it really fun.
They seem to be screenshots of people that have a following online.
Oh yeah, they just rate up everything that person does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. But I think that actually does it for this week.
I think so too, actually.
A bit shorter than usual, but once news start kicking again and you're not away on fancy vacations and you play more video games, we can speak
about that.
Yeah, next time I'll probably have more to say about, Dragon Age and maybe other
whatever
things.
Game I might pick up.
Yeah, maybe more Hearthstonehearth. Hearthstonehearth.
Hearthstonehearth. That's
my card game, but you build the cards.
Okay, that's interesting.
Make me the millions, please.
It's like a Minecraft meets a card game.
Yes.
You have to gather resources and then turn them into cards, and then use those cards to beat another player.
Exactly. So yeah, bcscast.tumblr.com is the website. Add a slash ask to that, and you can ask us questions. Tell your friends if you've liked it. Tell your friends if you hated it. Just
tell your friends, period.
Yeah, just tell your friends. And tell people you dislike as well. Tell everyone.
Tell everyone.
So we can make the big podcast money. Podcast millionaires. In the future.
Podcast millionaires.
So very true. Yeah, that's all for us this week. I've been Jacob, he's been Jeroen. I hope you have a good new year, and I'll see you in a week or so.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.